What's going on, everybody? This is your girl XO, effort times opportunity plus optimism, your local vegan thought, treasuring health overall, teaches self-love. And today we are in the kitchen and we are cooking with my fave, quinoa. Yes, if you don't know what quinoa is an amazing superfood. Okay, it's considered a grain. Some of people say it's a seed, but it's really dope. And I really love doing these videos because I'm able to really get across how simple sometimes vegan lifestyle can be. You know, sometimes we make a lot of things more difficult than it has to be because we overthink or because of our perception is coming from a place of where we used to be. So with quinoa, it's so simple, it's so basic, but it's so nutritious and it's so tasty. If you season it and you cook it correctly, it's a game changer, I'm trying to tell you. So we started off with the first episode being a nut-free, gluten-free queso. Then the second episode, we did a little pulling of jackfruit. So this time we're going quinoa crazy, and I'm gonna show you guys how to cook quinoa. Now, it's a few benefits of quinoa we're going to get into. For one, it's a superfood. Two, it's a complete protein, which means there's nothing else. It has everything, all of the amino acids needed for your muscles, your body, your blood, everything. You know, it decreases your blood sugar. It helps regulate it. It decreases your risk of diabetes, heart disease, all of these things. And it's a great substitute for rice. And I hate to break you all's heart, but rice, it's not really good for us. It's tasty, and trust me, I love fried rice. Like, that was my thing back in the day. But once I got into quinoa and I felt the benefits and I just realized how hearty and how much it gave us, it was no doubt in my mind to just get rid of rice. So yeah, let's do it. Let me show you guys how to cook it. Let's go. So the first things first is what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get our boiling pot. We'll get a saucepan pot. Go ahead and add water to it. Depending on how much you want to yield is really how much water you want to put in, because the amount of quinoa is going to be half the amount of water. All right, so say if you wanted to do 2 cups of quinoa, you would have to do 4 cups of water, all right, to boil off with. So when you first put it in, you're going to add your water, but then you also are going to want to rinse the quinoa off, okay? So we're going to go ahead and rinse it off, and once we rinse it off, we'll add it to the water. We'll go ahead and let it boil, get to a boiling point. Once it gets to a boiling point, we're going to go ahead and turn it down a little bit, okay? But oftentimes you don't have to. That's honestly up to you. Honestly, your preference. When it comes to rinsing off the quinoa, you just get one of those mesh strainers and you can just throw it in there and then rinse it off. Yeah, I've done it without doing that because I was moving so quickly. Clearly, you guys can see I'm a little impulsive at times. I'm working on it. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and rinse the quinoa off. We'll go ahead, throw it in the pot, and we'll go from there. Alright, so now that we got the quinoa rinsed off, what we're going to do is I already put it in the pot. And as you can see, it's like half the amount of water. So even if you don't want to use a measuring cup, if you don't have one, you can go ahead and eyeball it and tell, alright? Go ahead and set it on high and then just let it boil, let it do so. Alright, we got the water boiling, we got it going. So you want to go ahead and grab you a utensil. I grabbed a fork, and yes, I have my Pride fork, you know, shout out to Pride Month. But yeah, we go ahead and mix it up, and you want to keep stirring it periodically just to make sure it doesn't stick. But from now on, you're just going to let it boil out. You're going to let all the water boil out, and it's going to get soft, and you're just going to keep mixing it so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to show you guys. So I don't know if you guys can notice now how the quinoa is kind of fluffing up. You know what I'm saying? It's not as much of a bead. It's more so of a, well, I guess, grain, a fluff grain, as you will. But yeah, so the more the water evaporates out and soaks it in, it's going to be fluffy like that. So you want to keep stirring it and keep mixing it. And yeah. Look, as you guys can see, the water is gone. We have a nice fluffy texture. It's not too soft, it's not mushy, it's still beaded, but it's not too beady. I know a lot of people, what gets them about quinoa is how beady it gets. It's kind of like I guess a escargot look to it. But let me tell y'all something. when it's cooked in this season, like I said before, it is so good and it's so great for you guys. Like, I want to say per 1 cup of quinoa is 8 grams of protein. So when they tell us that we're not getting our protein, they just don't know. They just have no idea. But I'm gonna show you guys because I appreciate you guys and I love you guys. And that's the video for today. Peace.